Hello everyone, I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How is everybody today? I am really getting into a lot of interesting things. This is not really having to do with the impeachment trial or following all those kind of things, but more in the gold grain coin grains, as we call them. So the grains are doing well. People are getting. I'm going to be doing a Zoom later on today to kind of go through. It's been a good week. Has it been a week? Yeah, about 1 week since we started, and we've been taking care of some issues. We actually had so many people registering that it was surpassing the ability for the email to keep up, and end up putting some people into limbo state. So anyway, we're just fixing some of these kind of little issues, displaying numbers and things like that, but nothing overboard. That was dramatic. Everything seems to be relatively good. Actually, why don't I give a little tour of the goldgraincoin.com website. Let's go share my screen here. There we go. So this is basically goldgraincoin.com. Gold grain coins, grains as we call them, gold at spot on the blockchain. So the idea is really about getting gold at and keeping this coin, and it will just track whatever gold does. And grain is the smallest unit of measure for gold. Most people hear about ounces, which are troy ounces of gold, and most people think, when they see the price of gold, which somewhere around, if you look at it in dollar terms, around $15.50 right now per ounce, troy ounce. And a grain is actually, you take 1 ounce and divide it by 480, and you get grains. So you get 480 grains per ounce. So that's why it's a very small amount. So you just divide, if you said 1550 divided by 480, probably somewhere around $4. You're looking at in dollars. But we always use the reference to Bitcoin, right? We always exchange in Bitcoin. We never go and work out of fiat systems. So that would be 0.0005 something Bitcoin. And you just however many grains you wanted to get. So we update the price. I believe it's several times an hour. It might be every 10 minutes. It might be every 5 minutes. I forget what it's set for. We're going to be increasing that down to where we're going to be doing kind of a live system, but that's not needed that much because there's not that much difference right now. But it does get update. I think it's every 10 minutes right now, the pricing. So this is the same idea as holding gold coins, right? You would be holding the gold coins, but it's being held in a wallet in your phone or your desktop computer. So this hold as gold coins, or HODL for the future. HODL means HODL, hold on for dear life. It's a cryptocurrency term that came about because the volatility in crypto really leads people to want to you got to hold on, but it's going to be really like a bumpy ride. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. So the idea of what we call as a stable coin. So it's right here. Gold ring coin is a stable coin matched to the gold spot market price and readily swappable to Bitcoin. Right? Each coin gained is equal to the current gold spot market price of 1 grain of gold. So that's a stable coin, meaning that there's something that gives it stability. Well, gold is a stable price, so that's why we're tracking that. But we always have crypto ready to swap out for it, right? Okay. And then so when you go to market exchanges, what a lot of stable coins' main purpose is when you're dealing with the volatility of Bitcoin, for example, and you want to jump out of Bitcoin because you think it's going to fall dramatically, you move it into something else. Now, that's been problematic in the past, but the solution to that was they made a coin that followed the dollar. In fact, they said it's actually backed by dollar. 1 coin, $1. 1 coin, $1. Well, we're stable. We're 1 grain of gold in value. So we're always making sure that we have the value there behind that to exchange back out to Bitcoin. And the last part is one of our secret sauce here, and the reason why we're not actually trying to match a grain of gold to a particular coin and track that, right? Like a lot of other gold coins out on they're doing crypto gold coins. They're always trying to basically say, well, here's a bar of gold, and this bar of gold now matched to this coin. And that has a logistical issue, right? Now, this is from the gold market. People that are in the gold market would think this is the natural thing to do. But it really doesn't, need to be that way in regards to what we're doing. We have more advantages this way. So, but since we're not backing the coin with gold, but we are acquiring 1 grain for everyone. We store that gold. We then leverage the gold. That means we can get more out of the gold, right, than what we have sitting there. And so when we leverage it, we're able to then put more into trading in the crypto markets to get a bigger amount of generated coin flowing back towards us. So that will overcome fluctuations in the prices of gold. If there was, say gold went up a lot and Bitcoin went down, but they seem to be tracking one another, which is kind of interesting. But we have more in trade, and we're gaining every day generated coin. So we're able to overcome any of those large fluctuations if they were ever to occur. In Bitcoin, we know that the fluctuation will be there. In gold, we have a tendency to believe it's going to be going up, right? And as I said, they seem to be tracking one another, Bitcoin and gold. So this is our very good parts. Now, below that, we talk about what we're doing, strategic relationships with the coin. So we're talking about acquiring the gold. We're actually insuring our gold. We're also have what's stored in a safe keeping place. We're probably now going to end up with more than one storage facility, but one is that we were looked at originally as Switzerland, and the other is in Utah. Right. And then to basically do our leveraging, it would be with a Swiss bank, but we'll probably be with more than one bank, most likely. And then short market exchange, where we do our crypto trading, right? That they're ensuring against hacking is really what that's about. And then certified accountability. Right, so we end up having our books looked over, right, to track what's going on here. Okay, so to build a strong found, this part is the features, right? So we're saying, it's guaranteed gold at spot market price, fast exchange to Bitcoin. It's a stable utility token. Uh, it's better than gold. And it's low risk and low expense. When you deal with gold, it's sometimes difficult to get the gold. You'd have to go travel to get someplace. Even if you did it online, you have to have it shipped to you, and there's insurance costs and things of that you have to cover as well. And then gold leverage crypto trading platform, and then no gold redemption, meaning that you can't send the coin, the grain coin back to us and say, oh, I want a grain of gold in exchange. No. Our gold is unencumbered. We keep it that way in our leverage situation. And this is basically about the minting of the gold grain coins. Just give some details on how we do that. One of the main things is, well, right here we're talking about that we use the Tron blockchain. And we use a standard called TRC20. Now there is on the Ethereum blockchain the ERC20 standard. This is exactly the same standard. They are compatible standards. And we actually are not only TRC20, but we're also TRC 777 compliant, which is a higher standard for keeping the actual coin safe. And then we have a mint and issue system, in which there is a fee that's associated with this process. When we acquire gold, just as you deal with even physical gold coins, the physical gold coins also have a fee on associated. So you'll find the spot market price, and then there's a fee on top of it. That can be, anywhere from, I'll say 25 to 50%. Right? So we're right now we have it set at 30% for this first phase. That will be changing and go. It'll fluctuate depending on the quantity that's done in the minting process. So most cryptocurrencies that are put out there from the standpoint of they're going to have a limited supply of coin to create value. So let's say I'm only going to make 1 million coins, and we're going to distribute 1 million coins, and when they're out there, there will be no more. But we don't have to do that process because we're actually, our value is coming from the actual acquiring the gold and putting it into our ecosystem. So we maintain a value always exchangeable out to, say, Bitcoin. So we're not really limited other than acquiring the gold. Right. Hey, I hear someone in the background. I guess Tank is online, but let me just finish up right here. We've got one more section here. Gold grain coins are basically that we have minting events. Right? And right now, there's two ways to get it. One is we have an affiliate program, and so we're now, that's what we've started with, working with affiliates. My affiliate link is down below in this video, so you can click on that and join. It'll take you to the sign up stage to become an affiliate. You could also then buy coins from in there. You can buy the grains. But the other way we'll be doing is minting events, and those will be much, coordinated with an event coordinator. For example, say a crypto broker would basically become an event coordinator, and then they would line up everyone to come in to get the coins at a time, and we'll go do a minting. This minting period is done this way so that we can acquire the gold in a bigger amount and keep the cost down for acquiring it lower. So anyway, that's that. And I guess besides that, if you basically, I'll just say that if you do click on the link and you sign up, this is my back office, that for my member account. and it shows on the left side here, you know, this is what basically come in after your email is verified. This would be green here. And then there's just profile, address, and documents. It will show up red. You'd have to complete that for your account to be active. And then you can buy tokens by just clicking on here. And then you go through the process. But anyway, we'll leave that for another time since Tank is here. How's it going?
Sorry, man. I'm trying to disrupt you. Go ahead.
No. It's okay. I just was I figured I'd go through a little bit of like a review of what's going on and show people the website. And so I did that, and this was the second part.
Exciting stuff, man. I gotta tell you, I think it's awesome. Just watching what you're doing, it's amazing to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's creating a currency, right, that has value.
Yeah.
You know, that's what everyone's trying to do in this cryptocurrency space. But the problem is that their value seems to or most of the time be built around marketing. Now, sometimes that can work, right? You have a cause associated with it, right? That you can get people to believe in, right? And then that marketing can turn into enthusiasm in the people that acquire the coin, and you build a community, devoted followers to it. And you know, there's coins like that are very successful because they had a particular community follow them. Like, for example, hackers. You know, they have a coin out there that they all participated because they want to keep everything private, and they made a blockchain that actually would enforce that capability. Bitcoin, you know, I guess there's a way to back end around, figure out who's got Bitcoin, right? On what, you know, depending on IP addresses and, you know, some detective work, you can backtrack it, and there's ways to foil that. But the you know, these other coins out there, that they have a particular idea. Some of them are based around doing mining, right? And they're going to spread like a virus, and everything that you decide to join in with them, your systems are going to be used for their mining efforts, which end up support their system, right? To check and verify. So there's all sorts of ways, and it's going to get even more diverse than it is already. But yeah, 99% of the coins that get put out there are vapor, right? They have the marketing stops, and then the price goes down, right? They don't have enough there, right? Some have, you know, concepts that they put behind it, and those have, you know, good potential if they can make them workable, and they get adoption from people. Like some that are based on doing advertising, right? These are like you participate in this and follow the advertising from the people that are bringing in. You can consider them like points. Like there's a lot of point systems out there, right? You go in.
Sure.
And you
coupons,
go to, like just like coupons, yeah. And you get points. You save up enough points, and then you can convert that back into, you know, pay for things in their little ecosystem. Right, so use those points in a restaurant, right? They're part of the system. So those big giant coupon books, for example. So there's all sorts of ways, right? But we have no limit. We can mint and mint and mint and mint and mint as long as we can get the gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We have the value is always there from the very first.
It's amazing. Yeah. I'm fascinated by the whole thing. It's such an incredible product. You know, because I think it's a great story too. I mean, with you, it's like, well, you went down the path of Swiss Indo. I mean, how many people would have, you know, they cut you out of the banking system. You know, so you made your own. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went down the road of that. I always saw the ability to use this sort of electronic money before Bitcoin. was out. It was called electronic money. There was always issues as to how were you. The biggest problem was called the double spending problem, meaning that I've made this digital token, right, and I'm going to send it to you, and it left me and went to you, but who says I can't send it again to someone else at the same time and spend it twice? What was the verification of that? So Bitcoin was the first to solve that problem, and they
Sure.
and also establish a way of creating value by mimicking gold. Actually, the whole concept of mining is to mine the gold, to mine the coin. There's a limited amount. There was only 21 million bitcoins. So
we're supposed to buy a building in Manhattan or like in New York, right? So when we looked, I was amazed at how many of these buildings were willing to take Bitcoin as payment. And I was like, wow, that's really legit.
Oh yeah, it has been long time coming, but say over the last 2 years, you've really been able to use Bitcoin for a lot of things. I mean, there's pretty much everything somewhere in the world you'll be able to use Bitcoin to buy something. I mean, you can pick anything. It could be a car, a house, groceries, coffee. You'll find there's some place you'll accept Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that pizza, there was a pizza place that originally accepted it, right? It was 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas.
Wow.
And that guy was really upset when he sold that. I think he got a couple $100,000 for his Bitcoin. He was stoked, but very sad when it hit $20,000 a coin.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
I sold too early.
Crazy.
But so how's it going, Tank? Any news?
Not from Kim. I didn't even. I kind of let her. I mean, unless she had something to tell me on the weekend, I let her be.
Yeah. No, I got it. I just wondered. It's got
I'm hoping and I'm watching all this stuff that we're doing, and it's amazing. We're about to really launch. I mean, we have a very official suit that is being filed now. That we've finished everything and gone through the process, and it's kind of amazing when you think about what's happening on the cabal front, right? That they're still hanging on to this remnant of a plan, the only answer is genocide. And in New York, it's in full effect, I mean, because New York is the battlegrounds for everything. I realize, you have all these fake diseases. And the people are actually very aware. They're very conscious about Gardasil. Scared about that, about the kids being forced to take Gardasil. Even the parents that were pro-vax, right, don't want that. And so that's good. But they're all being misled. I realize, after having this meeting here this week, is that there's these kind of fake leaders, right, who create the appearance that they're doing something. But but they've never won. They've never really broken through on anything. Mm-hmm. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. It's wow, and everybody, they're really stressed out about it. They're like, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. It says, well, it's not working. Why keep doing it? They've been doing it for a year. They've been protesting in New York for a year, nonstop protests for a year, and they have not broken through anything. Nothing has changed. It's as if they're just like, we do not care what you want. Which it's not even as if it is that way. Mm-hmm. They do not care what people want. So I really was diving in on this today with the Lawful American team, right? And Michelle Walker has put together just an incredible team. Just so knowledgeable, so together on everything. And just really ethical, just the cream of the crop. And I'm just amazed. I'm like this here in New York. It's like they are still in full genocide mode, right? and I realized, so if we take down New York, if we can just enforce the freaking law the way it's written in the Constitution here in New York, it'll be the first domino to change the world, to set things off.
Yep. No, I think that's definitely one of the front lines. So glad you're there.
I'm glad I'm here too. I'm grateful to be in the fight. I gotta tell you, I'm a little wrecked today. My mind is just mush after nonstop like law investigation. I don't know how anybody can do this all the time. It's so intense.
Yeah.
So intense.
No, yeah.
So many
getting into the nitty gritty of the law, especially what's behind the law, the base law. Go back, Roman law. Finding out about common law, what you're dealing with, and how, because most people don't understand what the true setup of law is. Right? That's why they believe, all these statutes are law. Right? Because they're told it is law. Hey, is it legal? Is it legalese?
Right.
And people just go along with it because that's the way they were brought up, right? That's what they think is real. But it's been this big con job, right? Really, don't tell people that they've been, sold off, by birth certificate, and that you're all operating as you're supposed to be operating this scarecrow entity, right? This birth certificate entity it's yours. It's your ship at sea. Really? What does that mean?
All that stuff is, I reject all that. I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's like, this is what they've done, right? They've created this mythical system, right? And this de facto government that's like, none of it's even real, right? It's just
it's all
there.
It's all fiction.
Right, it's all fiction.
It legally is all fiction.
Right.
So it is not real, but if people just act as though it is, then the perception of reality is what reality is. So that's why it is a hell on earth, right? Because you don't even know you're imprisoned, right?
If all you've ever seen are the shadows on the wall, then that's what you think is real,
Yeah.
And then somebody comes telling you, hey, there's like a whole world out here. We can do amazing things. It's incredible. Most people will reject it and stay enslaved. That is true. But
there's a math book called Flatland by the author is A Square. Now it's not a real author name, but that's the author of the book because it's a math term, A squared. So Flatland is really, it talks about different dimensions, and it gives a perspective of what that looks like, right? The first dimension being a point. It's just a point. There's nothing to see here because every which way you're looking, it's always the same thing. There's nothing there. It's just perspective from a point. But if you then have a perspective of a line, you're either going forward or backward on the line, right?
Right.
You can
now you can see what's right in front of you, right?
Yeah, and you're only facing one dimension or one direction, right? So you're going you're going forward, or it's going backwards down the line. So you can't even drop something to look down. You can't, look up. You can't look left or right. Just forward, and you can see, going forward or backwards. So and then you go to third dimension, right after that. Because then you have a plane, right? You can now go left or right, back and forward, and go around. And if you have a bunch of entities on there, and you go up and you meet other entities, right? You're always looking, at them, and what do you see? You see a line, a width, right? Right? It's either thin or fat, You go and meet Bob, and Bob is always this width, right?
Right.
I mean, you could throw some
Yeah.
colors into it, I guess, but
Yeah.
but beyond that, you don't know what's going on. But let's say now the next dimension kicks in, and someone's looking down at you, and the concept is, they pick you up out of flatland,
Yeah.
right, and raise you up, right, and now you get to see more than just this one line in front of you. Now you get all this extra. You can't express it. They put you back into flatland. How are you going to tell everybody what is it? What you just saw?
Yeah. How do you even describe it? Right.
You can't describe
Yeah.
it, right? They're just to lock you up and put you in the line prison.
Yeah.
Throw away the key. So it's the same
Wow.
in these systems of law, right? In these realities that we're living in. You get picked up and thrown into a sovereign standing, right? And how do you know how to react to everyone around you who's still in this other land?
Yeah.
Right. So it's to communicate it, and all the words that you would normally use now mean something else to you, but to everyone else they mean that former thing that you thought it was, like person. Are you a person? No, I'm not an object on the shelf.
Right.
What do you mean?
All those terms though, it's so ridiculous. It's like, first of all, even in law, you constantly go through it. Contracts always, what they'll do is they'll define terms before they start the contract, right? So every time we say this, it's going to mean this from here on out, right? Mm-hmm. So all those things, they just reject it like this is the only meaning. It's ridiculous. There isn't one set meaning for anything, right? So it's like, that's why it's so important we have to define what things mean.
Well, yeah, we do, but and that's why I would say, well, drop the first letter, double the second, and move on.
Right.
Okay. Are you a person or are you an Urson? An Earson. An Earson. I'm an Earson. It's what we all think it means, but it's not the legalese terminology that makes you an object on the shelf. At a postal code residence, where that.
Well, I just look at it like it's all word magic and spells, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it like I reject their definition of it.
Yeah.
If we accept it to mean this is what it means.
Yeah. Well, but what we could do is also say redefine those words in Black's Law Dictionary and say, oh, here we go. Here's the new legal terminology. Person does not mean object on a shelf, right? The new terminology means it's either a man or a woman or child. We could just rename them, right? If we had, say, Trump and like a Congress that would go along and a judicial that would go along, and everyone would just hum along and just rebuild everything the correct way and redefine everything, and then put in a law that everyone tries to change these terms again or is immediately accused of treason and is executed on the spot just for mentioning they want to change the term. That would end it. Boom.
I like this principle though, and we talked about today. At the end of the day, we're fighting for the spirit of the law, right? Not the letter.
Right.
Because the spirit of the law is something that it communicates beyond the boundaries of the limits of language, right? It's what were you trying to accomplish, right? Like the Second Amendment, and people get so fired up and twisted about the Second Amendment because some people like guns, some people don't, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, well, how about it really just comes down to what was the spirit of it? Well, the spirit is sometimes governments are corrupt as hell, and you need to be able to defend yourself against them. That's the reality of the Second Amendment, right? That's the spirit of what is being said that everybody should be able to embrace. And but if you're convinced the government will never do you wrong, I saw these protesters today, and they were like, "Capitalism is dead." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what is wrong with these people? What do they think is going to happen? Like we're just going to be, like this new socialist regime where everybody gets the exact same cut of meat. People are different.
No,
People are
no,
not created equally. They're not.
no.
They just don't.
The people don't get the meat, right? The people can only eat the vegetables. It's only the government people get the meat.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, that's what happened is that they start segregating, and you get smaller and smaller portions. You get just enough to survive so that you can go do the work you're assigned to do until you can't do it anymore, and then, oops, you get no more food.
Yeah.
No, but that's
Yeah.
not the way it's going to be. Socialism is wonderful.
Socialism is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's like, so we've got this, we're getting ready to really go in on some stuff, right? And it's like, we're finally at a point where it's like, we're, everything's about to get real. And it's like, you got to wonder, like, are you really going to ignore us now? And it's like, so, everybody who's ever tried to take on something like this, right, they end up dead or, everything just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
And, but it's, it's like, I'm counting on and banking on that, all the forces that we, believe are standing up are actually going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, none of it matters. If people don't get money, if people don't get freedom, then nobody's free.
Well, I have sympathy for all those people out there that tried their hardest for decades, right? And they kept running into the wall, right? And they got slammed, and they live a poor lifestyle because they had to figure out a way of survival, right? And that's on purpose. That was what was meant. But this is the only time since Trump got into office, and he's making this major move. He's doing on a worldwide basis, right? And it's already done, right? It's already underway. The realignment of things is UK, America, Russia, Japan, and probably China is also in on it. But they're all all see that the solution is not to kill off everyone on the planet and to stop using lies to do that. Right? I had a thought about this new virus, right? Was it coronavirus? Coronavirus.
Yeah.
So the coronavirus, and of course, traced back to I just saw X22 put a report out. Bill Gates Foundation. Here's their simulation of it, right? And this is how it starts off. One case in the U.S., 2 cases in Australia, 1,300 cases in China. And I forget what they said, something I think for also Canada, I think. But they have the cure along with the disease. And they make money off of releasing the disease and then bringing up the cure. By the way, the cure also sterilizes you.
Does it really?
I don't know.
Oh, you just say yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would make sense, right?
Well, considering it's Bill Gates, right, and he's the one saying we're going to do it by we're going to reduce population by vaccines.
Yeah.
Right. Well, one really quick way to get people into this is like, you got vaccinated against this disease, and you caught the disease and you've had a fight, but it sterilized you. All right. So you still, you just made you still effectively stopped the reproduction, right, of that group. They still lived. But then they couldn't reproduce, so you effectively reduce population, You know, and so, but it's all, you know, these people need to go to jail for this. Everyone who invented the virus, they need to be held accountable, right? This is morally reprehensible, right? To make a disease like this, and they know that it's manufactured, right? They know who's got the patent, so they need to be held responsible for everything, all the death tolls around the world, no matter what it hits. I have a feeling it's not going to be allowed to spread. My feeling.
Well, that's what um, I'm looking at too. Is like, at some point, it just has to break. It's like there cannot be this continued, nonstop, stuff behind the scenes, right? At some point, we have to get to the substance of what's there and say, if it's really stopped, right? If it's really there, because allowing the other side to constantly, rise up and lay claim, it just gets exhausting. I mean, you watch if you were just to read, like, tweets from Adam Schiff or something, right? And like that whole group, you'd think they've got Trump locked in a corner. I mean, you think they got him all hemmed up the way they talk, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like there's
you know who they remind me of? The Black Knight in Monty Python.
Just a flesh wound. That guy
cut off his arm. Oh, that's just a flesh wound. You're not gonna get by me. I'm the.
I'll take you.
He cut off both arms, both legs. He's standing there. You're not gonna pass me. And the guy, he just walk around him, right? He keeps going as though he's got all the power in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's like just from its sheer, ignorance and will, I guess.
Yeah, well, you've got no arms or legs. Oh, I do? Complete denial, right?
Hey, so yeah, flesh wound. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
It's like, you think it was, just, like, you think we're gonna, it's like, here Trump is, they go in, there isn't even anything to present against Trump. And they're throwing temper tantrums about, well, they should have, like, they're denying fair process. It's like, shut up. How can anybody, I mean, everyone who is still a Democrat should be embarrassed. I mean, I hate to say that, because, I know there's good people out there, so, but it's like, everyone, all of us, Americans, we should all be embarrassed by this process. This is our judicial system where these scam artists get to get up and repeat the same lies and monotony against, against the president who's got a track record that they act like doesn't even exist. It's like how long do you deny, the thriving economy and the deals that you all set up, right? That you allowed these different members who've been there for 30 years.
It doesn't matter. They're just going to change the history books.
Yeah, right.
Anything.
When you're so used to lying, you're so used to it. Like you just repeat. Yeah, you're right. You just repeat something else.
Yeah, well, I don't think that this is going to be going on too much longer. I think the next 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to see them wrap this up, and I really don't know whether we're going to see the witnesses. It's sounding like they're going to say, well, we think we're going to close this up really quickly, right? Meaning that even they're going to cut it short. They were going to cut it short anyway, but I think they're going to make it even shorter. So if they don't, call any witnesses, this is going to be over by Friday.
It's like the whole thing. I mean, it was over before it started, really, right? I mean, it's like,
Of course. And I was really thinking they're going to end up calling the witnesses, and that this is just.
well, I just read that they drafted subpoenas for Joe Biden and Hunter Biden.
Oh, really?
Because they mounted because in this process, and Giuliani came out. I cannot wait. Like Giuliani said, I mean, I was watching him talk about this. He was saying, he's like, he has the trail of evidence to show how corrupt all of them are. And he's like, and honestly, he goes, it's really shocking. Like, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, well, what would shock people right now? You know, unless you come out and say, like, you know, they're, like, you really bring out their crimes, right? Not that, it's not like, you know, like catching, you know, Al Capone for, like, tax evasion, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you know, he was a murderer, right? Like, he was, like, constantly killing people, right? It's like, but if you brought that out, that would have been a little more in depth. And that's what I feel like is happening with this. It's like we're all going to pretend like we don't know there's real crimes here. Like,
well, I'm okay with this being brought up as, you know, let's expose now that we're going to see all of these people coming out. Kerry's son, Mitt Romney's, you know, people who. Pelosi's son, all of them into power companies in Yugoslavia. I mean Ukraine. But that they pull this all out, right, and start ongoing, right. I see that this is really a way to start the Great Awakening, right. So maybe it's just they're just like trying to like psych them out and say, oh, we're not going to call you. We're going to end this really quickly, right. We're going to wrap up quick. But then they force the witnesses. And maybe they're just trying to entrap them into calling witnesses. Yeah. Here's the candy, right? Come on, Democrats, you want witnesses? Come on, push it, right? And then the nonstop witness keep coming out against the Democrats. They keep sinking. Everybody's being exposed. And the Democrats say, okay, enough witnesses. No, it's okay. Call your witnesses. We're going one for one. What did Ted Cruz call it? Reciprocity. You know, you get one, we get one. Yeah. Oh, you don't want yours? You don't want any more witnesses? That's okay. We've got 10 more for tomorrow.
But what do you do when, like, I think because when Joe Biden and Hunter Biden come out and they have to plead the fifth, right? Well, that's what's going to happen.
Well, but right? But they can plead the fifth, but you can also bring out the documentation, right?
Yeah.
So where's the documentation for all of the money coming from? Oh, by the way, it was just released in this court over here for his the stripper that had his son. Here's all the financial documents for. Well, Hunter, we just got your financial. No comment. You know, I'm taking the fifth. Oh, okay, but let me just ask you the questions. You can keep claiming it, and then you just paint the picture. Right? Oh, look. So why did you get this money? I'm taking the fifth. It's okay if he takes the fifth. He doesn't answer. How about Joe Biden? You think he can shut up?
I don't. You know, I think their worst nightmare. I think Joe Biden will have a heart attack on his way to trial. Like, you know, suddenly it'll be like, on his way in, Joe Biden, you know, he passed away because.
Yeah. Oh, what an accident. They're Arkansas-sided.
I don't think they have enough adrenochrome to keep that dude functioning. You know.
Yeah. That's why Trump keeps saying, "No, there's something wrong with this guy. He's not functioning."
There is.
I know, but he's pointing it out. Hey, he's not functioning properly. What's going on?
Oh my gosh! I was what's his name? Bernie Sanders made some tweet and it said, "Abortion is healthcare," is what he said, right?
Oh.
And I forget the guy. He's great. He's like the master of one-liners. It's one reporter, Nash or something like that. And he said, he goes, "Slavery is full employment." You know, like, I think that's exactly what they think. Yep, yes it is. Everybody's employed.
Well, interesting. We're at 3.5% unemployment, which 4% is actually considered full employment. So, in other words, we have more jobs than we have people to fill them. So, uh, immigration is great, right? If you know who's coming in, and you can select from the best of the best and bring the best of the best to the country. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You need more people, but then it's about why don't we start having more babies? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Have 10 kids per family. Oh, no, we'll be overpopulated. No, that's baloney. All this is meant to basically, um, families become strong with more children, right? You get to work towards your family goals, right? That's why all the dynasties, they always work together in business, and they built value or built wealth amongst them, and they were able to go ahead and gain the ability to actually make a difference in the world, right? It build it up over time. So they want to dissolve that ability for anyone to have family because they don't want competition with their power. Right? They want to keep themselves as rulers, as the elite.
The elite. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I feel like elite should mean something. Like if you're elite, it should be based on a skill or something, right? Like elite basketball. Kobe Bryant died today. You see that?
No, I did not. No, that's sad.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Well,
Yeah,
what was
he
the
died in
reason?
a helicopter crash.
Suspiciously or not?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's anything. I mean, a helicopter crash, I feel like it's pretty suspicious in general.
Yeah.
It could be, who knows where it really is. I mean, it could be any one of a million things. Kobe Bryant went to private schools and had all types of advantages. I'm sure I think he was raised in Italy, so it's like I'm sure he could have all types of connections to. I'm sure his family has some kind of connection. If he didn't want to participate in the way of the order, right?
Yeah.
It could very very likely be that that he got taken out. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's hard for me to fathom what power they actually have, what's real, because it's just so hard to wrap your mind around. It's like they don't have any real funds right now, right? So it's like, how are the courts? How is everything functioning? This is something everything's functioning on illusion. Like everything is moving on faith. So, and not even faith, but not in a good way. But everything's kind of functioning on, well, this is what we've always done, right? So the only thing really holding everything together is this illusion that this is the way things are, right? And because we all think this is the way things are, no one, it's very hard for people to change. They're just so, set on a certain kind of way of doing things. And that's kind of tragic,
Yeah. I don't really. I was never a basketball fan, right? But I did understand. He made a big difference in the world. It was very well known.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I mean, he's an easy. I mean, I'm not sure if he's already been entered into the Hall of Fame, but I think he won 5 championships. He was great though. He's 15-time All-Star. I mean, he's an incredible player. But at the end of the day, to me, I think that's a game. It's a great gladiator. It's like, I don't know what he did to contribute to make the world a better place, other than entertain people, right? And I think that's great. But it's like, I believe there has to have been a time when we exalted attributes, in people that reflected, an ideal that we really believed in, right? and they replaced sports, right? They use sports to replace things that really matter.
Right.
So you can hardly bother people with a political discussion. I mean, the majority of the population, right? I mean, they were talking about like who's watching the impeachment. I think it's like 11 million people, right? In a country of 350 million, right?
Right.
So it's not like there's a big interest, right?
So do you know what the last numbers were? I think it was like 7.8 million. Not Trump's side, but the last day for the Democrats, 7.8 million viewers. So it kept going down each day, like a million a day.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's like everybody kind of it's so amazing. It's like nobody. It's like your president's being impeached. It's like you think if it was such a big deal, if it really mattered, the people would be tuned in, but it doesn't go that way. Yeah.
Well, I don't think people believe it, that it's going to be. They already know what the outcome is going to be, right? So why would they try and put any time or effort into it? Maybe I think that's why I want to know how it was for the Trump's lawyers. That would be the first time Trump hasn't been able to respond. So in that case, it could be something that people would watch.
Yeah. I mean, just the novelty of it seems like it would. It's like you have President. I mean, President Trump is just entertaining all by himself. I'm sure,
Trump said that he was going to come down and sit in the audience, right?
That's great. Yeah.
That's great. And then stare at them in their lying faces.
I don't know how anybody could not love Trump. Like, he blasted out a tweet yesterday, or it might have been today, and I had to laugh. It was like he just took everybody, put all his nicknames on all these people. He's like Shifty Shift and Lion Nancy and all the scumbags who were trying to take him down. And I thought there's in all of history this has never happened.
You know what? Do you know what he calls Chuck Schumer?
No, what do you call him?
Crying Chuck.
Yeah.
Because he had this crying episode on one thing, and since then you had called him Crying Chuck Schumer.
Crying Chuck Schumer.
So see, this is Trump's way of attacking on the same basis that he's being attacked on identity politics. But he identifies them, schoolyard style. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Right? And it is identity politics. He's associating them with he's calling them names, right? But these names are it's not like it's not affecting them as as a complete body, right? It's individualized, right? So it doesn't mean you're part of a group and you're all bad, right? It's identity politics for the individual.
Right. Like the whole thing is a giant theater.
I mean, when he calls Shifty Shift pencil neck, right? You don't imagine he's with a group of other pencil neck people, right?
Right.
It's only him.
Right. Absolutely. So funny. Yep. So, Eric, man, I don't got anything else, dude. I got a call coming up here.
No problem.
15 minutes.
Good to hear from you again. 2 days in a row.
Sorry, trying.
It's okay.
How to keep up?
I wanted to say, I was just going to look up. We're 30, 40 days away from our 1 year anniversary.
Oh my gosh, Dan! By 1 year, we'll be discussing what we did to launch things off in the world. Yeah. Right now, with money.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
Speak
what
that into existence.
I think that's what we'll be doing this first year anniversary, when we can actually go over, the year in review kind of thing.
Yep.
I just want to figure out
So
what the
that,
actual date is and see how far we are off on, by date. I think we had a first day, right, and then we kind of skipped for 3 days and came back, and we did 2 weeks, and then we never stopped.
yeah, well, I think
Something
we
like
did one
that.
show together, and then like maybe a week
It
later,
was a week later.
we
Okay,
came.
I knew it was something like
Yeah.
that, and then so we gotta like look at the two dates and see where they pop up.
I love it.
All right. Well,
So,
hey, well, I'll chat with you then tomorrow.
all right, man.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you as always. Appreciate you, and I will talk to everybody, and hopefully tomorrow. But Kim did say the end of January, and we're right there.
Right
So
there.
everybody, just hold that vibe, pray that in, okay?
Yeah.
We
Well,
need it.
we only have a couple days left. All right.
Cool, man. All right, talk to you later, guys.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Please do subscribe to the WWG1 WGA.love website. Uh, we've got a free membership there, or if you care to contribute, $1.11 a month, $8.88 a month, or $9.99 a year. Any of those donations would be welcome. Thank you so much for everyone. Actually, it's this audience that has really participated in allowing me to do everything I've been focused on doing here with Tank, and also and helped out quite a lot with the Kringle Gold project. So thank you for everything you've done so far. Also, I had asked what was it, 5 days, 6 days ago, about my friend whose child was in the hospital. Just to let you know, is stable but still in the hospital as of yesterday. I have not gotten an update today. But this usually is about a week, sometimes a little longer, for them to get through this. And a lot of times they do. It is could end in death. It is very possible. It's very, very difficult. Anyway, but thanks for your help with that. And again, the Telegram group, the description is in the description down below. You can click on that and join the Telegram group, and you can see all the news stories we get floating in there. It's a little bit of chat, but mostly the good stories are being posted there. And then also, again, as I said, if you'd like to join me in getting gold grain coins, please, the first line down below. And then until tomorrow, I wish you all well. See you then.